If you pulled LR Turles, this video is for you. If you're someone who pulled him and you don't really know how to utilize him, this video is for you. If you're someone who didn't even summon or didn't pull him, but you still want him, this video is for you. And even if you're someone, all right, even if you're someone who doesn't even want Turles, who doesn't care about him, but you still want to, spend a little bit of time with your boy, Mr. Baby, today, then this video is for you. Anyways, we're gonna be talking about how to get LR Turles to completely max power. It's a little serious I do, where every new unit that drops on global, I talk about how you want to utilize them the best way you can to bring out their full potential. All right, and again, we're talking about LR Turles today. So first things first, he does lead Terrifying Conquerors. His leader skill isn't bad, right? Keep +4 and 130% to all stats. We're seeing this with a lot of legendary summon LRs recently when it comes to specific categories, and that's completely fine. But there's a lot of better options when it comes to who you could run him with, right? And that just to show you, if we take a look at his categories, we have movie bosses, join force of Terrifying Conquerors, final trump card, and space traveling warriors. So the first leader I would recommend when it comes to this guy is STR Cooler. Now, STR Cooler does give 130% HP, so you wouldn't necessarily be losing anything or gaining anything if you had this guy as your lead. But he does give 170% to attack and defense. 170% to attack and defense. So, and if you are, let's say you're into a router road and or any mode where you're facing 2 or more enemies, he's going to be giving key 2 and 50% to attack and defense. All right, that's something you don't really want to just overlook. Right, that is a very strong. We're not going to be assuming in this video that you're going to be running against multiple enemies, but this right here is super powerful, and that's why Cooler is definitely a great leader. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily want to transform with him in that hard mode to keep that support buff for Turles, but it is what it is. Now his next best leader skill for those that are still on global is this guy right here. Now this guy also happens to be one of his best linking partners, which we'll talk about in just a second. But he gives 150% to all stats and key +3 for movie bosses. So it's still, I mean, yes, you are losing one key here, but you're gaining 20% to HP, attack, and defense, making this guy hit just slightly harder. So if you don't have Cooler, I do recommend running Turles. Now, if you don't have both, right, or if you don't have either, right, then I mean, there's still some leaders that can get the job done. But I would, if you are someone who loves Terrifying Conquerors, right? If you're someone like who loves the category, if you love like all the movie bosses and stuff like that, and you just can't get enough of movie bosses and Dokkan, I do recommend summoning on this guy right here. Now he should be the next. Now I know I just said I recommend summoning. For those that don't care about the anniversary and want to get Bojack, I recommend you summoning because he's actually a really solid unit, very good unit. But he also leads Space Traveling Warriors category, key 3, and 170% to all stats. This is the strongest leader skill for Turles here, because yes, Turles is on Space Traveling Warriors here. So he's going to be getting 170% to every single stat, which is extremely powerful for this LR Turles. I really do recommend people summon if you like movie bosses is your thing, you really want Bojack. And another thing to keep in mind is that he does support Space Traveling Warrior category allies, key 2 and 30% to attack and defense, and then an additional 20% attack and defense depending on how many enemies you face, for a total of up to 50%, right, attack and defense with 2 keys. So I mean, again, I do recommend this, but this video isn't going to be centered around this guy, so we can just go ahead and take that off for now. But let's just assume that you're running LR Turles, but you have this guy as your lead, right? You have Cooler as your lead with 170% attack and defense. This is still giving those stats the greatest buff. So this is still very strong. The HP can be a little bit low, but it's, again, still basically the same thing as you running this guy as your lead, except the attack and defense is a lot higher. Now, let's talk about this guy's links, right? Because we already know he supports from his passive 130% to attack and defense. This guy is extremely powerful to active skills. This is not like a unit analysis, right? This is about how to maximize their potential. So we take a quick look at the links, right? Brutal Beatdown, Prepare for Battle, Big Bad Bosses, Thirst for Conquest, Destroyer of the Universe, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. This unit right here, and you know, when it comes to units with Big Bad Bosses, when it comes to units like Terrify, like these types of units, you need to prioritize getting their links up. All right, you know, when it comes to specific or like other you know, max power videos, I do always recommend to get their links to level 10, but this one is someone you have to get you know, their links to level 10 because the power is just too great. So Brutal Beatdown is giving 15% attack, Prepare for Battle is giving 2 key and 5% to attack and defense. Big Bad Boss is giving 25% to attack and defense with no HP restriction, so that is a lot, dude. That is a lot of attack and a lot of defense. Thirst for Conquest is giving 15% to attack and defense, which is a mini Big Bad Bosses if you think about it. Destroyer of the Universe is like a better version of Thirst for Conquest, but a less version of Big Bad Bosses, giving 25% attack and 15% defense. Fierce Battle, attack plus 20%, and a Legendary Power, attack plus 15% when performing a super attack, right? So you're like, yo, Mr. Bray, why are these links important, right? Well, there are people in this game that share a hefty amount of those links, and yeah, you guessed it, that being this cooler right here. Now, did I just say cooler, dude? This Turles, sorry, right here. So this Turles shares Destroyer of the Universe, prepare for Battle, I can't speak, Thirst for Conquest, Brutal Beatdown, Big Bad Bosses, okay, and of course Fierce Battle. So sharing basically 6 links, 6 of a very strong links. I did the math beforehand. When these guys are on rotation, what they're sharing is 2 key from their links, attack plus 105%. 105%, Mr. Baby, you're crazy. Am I? Look, 25% right there. 30% from Prepare for Battle. The Thirst for Conquest is another 15%. Okay, so that's what, 45%? Brutal Beatdown another 15%, so that's 60%. Big Bad Boss is giving 25%. That's what, 85%? And then Fierce Battle another 20%. That's 105% right there, okay? 105% attack. They're also getting 60% defense. So you have this LR right here getting 105% attack and 60% defense on top of this. So on rotation, he's over 200% attack and very, very close to 200% defense at the start of turn, right? For those that are wondering, that's why he doesn't get a crazy buff from the start of his passive. Like 130% is very, very strong with this guy because, like okay, please level up these links. I'm telling you right now, please level up these links. But that's not all, right? Because when it comes to this Turles, as you guys know, he has a support type ability, giving all allies key plus 3 and 40% attack, which means in total, this guy is giving LR Turles 5 key and 145% attack with, of course, 60% defense. Something you definitely do not want to look over. But the crazy thing here too is that Turles isn't necessarily the greatest defensive unit. I mean, he's solid, right? Especially after when he transforms. You know, he's very solid. I'm not gonna take anything away from him. But the thing I need you guys to understand is that LR Turles is also supporting, giving all allies key 3 and 30% to attack and defense. Of course, if you're on Terrifying Conquerors, this guy getting an addition. I mean, 3 key isn't going to be the greatest because they're sharing enough from their passive and stuff. So it should be instant super attacks, to be honest. But let's say you have trouble super attacking. This guy's giving 3 key and 30% to attack and defense for this for this Turles. So he's going to be better defensively and offensively just sitting next to this guy, which is another great thing about this guy. All right, a great thing is that not only can you have Unit 2 supporting him, but he can support those other units, making them look better offensively and defensively, which is, again, a very, very great thing. And you want to run this guy on Terrifying Conquerors. At least as of right now, unless you pull Bojack and you're running Space Traveling Warriors, which a lot of the units that are on Terrifying Conquerors are also on Space Traveling Warriors. So, yes, keep that in mind. Now, this is, without a doubt, their best linking partner. I mean, you could rock the TUR of this Turles, but again, like, it's basically the same thing. Like, because neither the TUR or this guy is going to have, Legendary Power. but they share basically every other link. So instead of saying, you know, the unrealistic notion that you guys actually have a TUR copy of this guy, I recommend AGL Turles, who's very, very, how old is this guy? 2018. Okay, so yeah, he's very old. I think there's a good chance one of you guys may have pulled him during one of your summoning, you know, antics, if you will. Now, again, these two need to be on rotation, but the question is, who else do you bring on the team, right? Who else is on this, what's it called? This Terrifying Conquerors category that can continue to impress, that can continue to, you know, build up LR Turles and make him look even better. And there's quite a few options, right? So you do have, let me actually pull them up right here. You do have this guy right here, Intelligence Metal Cooler, right? This guy gives all allies attack plus 30%. Extreme class allies keep plus 3 and defense plus 40%. This guy is someone you need to have floating off. All right, this is not someone that you put on rotation with Turles. This is someone that you keep floating off, that you want coming back every few turns, because if you do, if you have this guy on rotation with the AGL Turles and LR Turles, there's a total of 8 key, 175%, dude, 175% attack and 100% defense. This is not something that we should overlook, okay? When you have this guy who can, you know, honestly could hold his own for the most part. I mean, like him getting 50% to attack and defense, just giving that to himself is very solid. It allows him to defend at, you know, at any rate, really, but he definitely could be better. But again, having this guy in rotation with LR Turles while he's linked up with the AGL Turles, that's 175% attack and 100% defense, which is what something this guy doesn't need, right? Because he's so freaking strong already. So just keep that in mind. And you know, he can be effective against all types as well, which is just increasing the amount of damage that he's doing. But there's even another unit, and this unit is actually free to play, that I really recommend everyone grind up if they haven't. But it is going to be this free to play Golden Frieza. Now, you know, he does buff movie bosses, which a lot of Terrifying Conqueror, you know, units are on. And there's space traveling warriors on movie bosses for sure, like the new Bojack that will be dropping, but again, this guy isn't on that category anyways. But this guy does buff movie bosses. So if you're running like a movie bosses hybrid with Terrifying Conquerors, this guy is going to be giving 2 key and 30% to attack and defense. So if you had this guy on rotation, again, it's going to be 175% attack. It's going to be what? It's going to be 7 key instead. 7 key instead, and a total of 90% defense. Now, the really cool thing about this guy as well is that he can actually hold up his own, right? So he does also raise extreme class allies attack by 30% for 1 turn, but the issue with this here is that this would require you to run him in a slot before LR Turles. Now, since there's only 3 slots available, if you have him in the first slot, Turles in the second slot, that means AGL Turles is in the third slot, which again means that AGL Turles will be rotated off and you won't have his support next time LR Turles comes around. So you don't necessarily want to run this guy in the first slot, but him buffing the attack definitely could make LR Turles look a lot better. But another great thing about this guy is that he builds up defense up to 60%, which is not the craziest, but he also has damage reduction, which is what makes this guy very powerful. So let me know what you guys think. Now, I think the greatest support for this guy is going to be this guy right here. Okay, so you want to run 2 of these guys basically, right? Key plus 3, HP 130%, but 170% to attack and defense, which is again right now LR Turles' greatest asset in terms of a leader skill. Sorry, if you are facing multiple enemies, right? Everything I just did was if you're facing 1 enemy or something, but if you're facing multiple enemies, you need to keep these guys untransformed, because if you giving 2 key and 50% to attack and defense to LR Turles is no joke. That is 7 key in total. 7 key in total when LR Turles and AGL Turles are linked up with this guy on rotation. And then looking at 195% attack, and you are looking at 110% defense. Again, something you do not want to overlook. Something that's going to buff the heck, all right, out of your LR Turles. So let me know what you guys think. LR Turles is an amazing LR, but everything I share with you guys today is definitely going to bring out his max potential. If you guys pulled Turles, let me know in the comment section below. If you guys got shafted by Turles, let me know in the comment section below. And also, let me know if you guys will be summoning for Bojack. When Bojack releases on Global, the Movie Bosses team, the Terrifying Conquerors team, and I guess the Space Traveling Warriors team will be changed forever, because the sheer power of that team is something that's it's kind of crazy to think about. Like you know what, I'm not even gonna share. We'll save that for when Bojack comes out. But he is going to be a dirty fellow nonetheless. Again, let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.